We actually own 41 buildings that belongs to us that are currently not being utilized. How much are we spending on a monthly basis? Over 5 years, that is like 2 billion. 5 of those buildings belongs to one person. And it turns out that he is very highly connected with some of the comrades. So last year, in the year of 2025, I think it was around February, we conducted an oversight visit as the infrastructure committee. We decided to focus on buildings that are in the city center in Johannesburg. And when we were conducting the oversight, we were with the department and they took us to one of the buildings that is actually a building that belongs to the Gauteng Provincial Legislature that is currently not being utilized.
Oh, from Nini. It's been a long time.
From Nini ngasebenzi. I think 2 years. 20 years iyasebenza le building. Ayisasebenzi. Oh, they baberekela from home ne. Yo. Hlangene la.
I then realized that, well, it's all well and fine for the department to tell us that these are the buildings that we are owning, these are the buildings that we are currently renovating. But as a member of the legislature, I then realized that with all this information that they're giving to us, what are they not sharing with us? And this is when I then decided to write questions to the department, where I then asked to say, we have been to this few buildings, but I really just want to find out how many buildings in total do we as Gauteng Province Legislature own. And this is when we were then informed that we actually own 41 buildings that belongs to us that are currently not being utilized. So part of my question, I also had an interest to say, with all the buildings that we are currently renting, how much are we spending on a monthly basis? And this is when it was then revealed to say on a monthly basis, the Gauteng Provincial Legislature is actually renting buildings for the client department. These are like the department in Gauteng Province, and they're spending a whopping 34 million on a monthly basis just to rent on these facilities. 34 million on a monthly basis. On a yearly, it comes down to 408 million. It then obviously came out to say they have been doing this for the longest time, I think more than 10 years or even 15. And then you realize that the 408 million over 5 years, that is like 2 billion. When the story broke out, the Premier acted shocked and say this is not acceptable and they will be doing a 3-month investigation and therefore they will give us the report. The story broke up in March last year, and a year later we haven't received any report from the Premier. The Premier had said to us that the investigation will be for 3 months, and I mean, when you look at the Premier, he's also one of the beneficiaries because his office is also part of those buildings that are being rented, with his costing the taxpayers' money 4 million on a monthly basis. I then went into some of these buildings, one of which is number 78 Fox Street, which is a building that was purchased from the Standard Bank many years ago. I think it's currently sitting at a valuation roll of 168 million. So as we were asking the department what the issues are in that building, we were informed that it's only the lifts that are not working. I mean, you can see it's about 20 floors, and if the department could focus on just fixing the lifts, then all these client department, which is the 11 department in Gauteng Province, could really be utilizing this facility and saving the 34 million. I mean, you're looking at something that can house all the 11 departments in Gauteng Province, because it's a massive building, and with the lifts, you can fix lifts in 2 months or even in a month. And so it's quite very disheartening to see that the Department of Infrastructure chose to neglect such, a building that is still standing intact.
So one PD address, I get 78 Fox. Yo, Marakari empty. Yo, Kala wena ugatile building wena Kala ugatile mu asita. Oh, nayo ya ugatile. Oh, iyasebenza le building. Ayisasebenza dala 2015. So akuna anyone osebenza la government, no one. Imoto kuphela ne. Yo, ba renovate mara. No.
One of the buildings that was listed from the responses that we received from MEC Mama Bulo was number 55 Fox Street, which is a building that is being leased for 2.9 on a monthly basis, and it's meant to house the Department of Education. We also had an interest to visit this building to go see if the monies that is being spent on a monthly basis is worth the monies that is spent. And when we got to number 55 Fox Street, we realized that the department was paying rental on a monthly basis for a building that is empty. There was an anonymous caller that is an employee from the Department of Education that called to confirm, the fact that they are not working from that facility because it doesn't meet the OHS standard.
Hey, how's it, my brother? Sharp, man. Department of Education,
No. It's moving. They're moving.
Are they moving?
Go straight now.
Yeah.
Yeah. This building.
Yeah.
Ask the security.
What's the address?
I don't.
You don't know, ne? So from when are they moving here? Do you know?
No. October.
October.
Last year.
Oh. Yes. Okay. Do you know why they're moving?
I don't know.
Okay, no, sharp. Thanks, mate.
I mean, when you look at it, it's filthy, it's scary. It could be hijacked tomorrow. We can't have our buildings being hijacked, but when you leave a facility this massive like this, unattended for many years, as the information that we receive from the ground, that it's been like this for over 10 or 20 years. I mean, what do you expect? Surely someone is gonna get into it and start using it.
So from Nini nga 70?
Huh?
Like from Nini inga Spanish building?
I think
20 years, ne? Yes. 20 years. And then you own a government?
Yeah.
Okay. Government. And then bokuhlala abantu babakhipha.
What am
Bokunama office.
I?
Oh.
House.
Montrose House. Oh, Montrose House. Yeah, and I wanted the name, Montrose House. Yo. Hey, kuhlangene la. Yo. Akumnyama njani? Okay, for night shift. Yakuna case. Yes. Akubonakali next. Ngisho nama lift okhona wasebenzi. Boyilungisa nini manje? Yeah, ne plumbing bayithathile.
No.
Oh, yeah. Boyikalisa. Yeah. Yo, iphelela ku how many floors? 23. Oh, manje abayilungisi vele ihleli ayisayenzi next. Yo. Ngcolile phela. Yes, kopoboza man. Keeping departmental mo building yeah government. Treasury ne. And marabona about the treasury.
I can show now what I want back about this other regular from home.
Oh, they are from home ne. So but 2 million in renovation. About of it.
So, but I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I can tell them not to this again.
Oh.
Most of the time, I'm
Okay. Since the car, man. Maybe 2 years.
Maybe 1 year.
1 year. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Oh, from Nili. It's been a long time. Almost. What year junior last year? Oh. What happened now? What's the matter? Agriculture and economics. There's a old one.
Why are we spending 2.9 million on a monthly basis for a building that we can't utilize? And so it tells you that the department was renting for the longest time for a building that employees cannot unfortunately make use of because it's not safe and it doesn't have the necessary, it doesn't meet the necessary standards for them to be able to work from the, which tells you that there is wasteful expenditure that is taking place. I mean, you would know that the Department of Education have a lot of crises where mothers want to go inquire about the challenges that they're facing for grade 1s and grade 8s. Mothers crying to say every time we go into that facilities, we don't find anyone because people are working from home and the department doesn't see the agency or to cancel that contract. It tells you that there is, something much interesting that the MEC is supposed to answer for. And it also turns out that from the buildings that the department is renting from, 5 of those buildings belongs to one person. And you then ask yourself to say why this specific individual is getting all the business. Why didn't they consider other businesses? And so we then looked into that as well to try see as to how is this person involved or at least associated with some of these individuals. And it turns out that he is very highly connected with some of the comrades. And we then obviously started asking questions to the MEC where he then obviously wanted to hide under the investigation that the Premier is still currently conducting. The individual is called Herbert Telegdy. He was involved in some scandals many years ago with the city of Johannesburg. After finding out who the business belongs to, I then obviously wrote further questions to the MEC. And at this current moment, we are actually waiting for the responses, just so we can understand why they rather chose this one individual to benefit from all the contracts that they have with all with renting these facilities.
That the forensic investigation that was announced is still ongoing.
Yes.
So at this point, we are unable to comment on the contents of any matter related to the investigation.
Yes. So the Premier actually last year mentioned that it will take something like 3 months and all that. Do you still remember that?
The fact of the matter is the investigation is still on. I take that into account as well.
Okay. You don't even know when this is going to be finalized.
I didn't want to preempt the investigation we will get an update of when will they release the report. But at this point, let's give them the opportunity to do their work.